Hey folks, Shipt is delivery done differently. Their expert shoppers pick up fresh groceries, tech gadgets, video games, and even pet supplies from local stores you love. Get everything delivered to your door in as soon as 1 hour. Your shopper will keep you updated with text from the aisles and can pick in-season produce like a total pro. Thoughtful shoppers, convenient service, and peace of mind. That's the difference Shipt makes. Try same-day delivery for yourself at shipt.com/WTF today. That's SHIPT.com/WTF. Also, I'm excited to tell you about Long Way Up, a new series exclusively on Apple TV Plus that follows Ewan McGregor and his best friend Charlie Borman on a 13,000-mile journey from the southernmost point of South America all the way to Los Angeles. The duo traveled through brutal winter conditions in Patagonia, harsh desert landscapes in Chile, extreme altitude in the Andes, and endangered jungles in Central America, all on electric motorcycles, charging as they go in some of the most remote places on the planet. Open the Apple TV app and start watching Long Way Up now. Subscription required for Apple TV Plus. All right? Good. Let's do the show.
Lock the gate!
All right, let's do this. How are you, what the fuckers, what the fuck buddies, what the fuck nicks? What's happening? I'm Marc Maron. This is my podcast. Barry Levinson is on the show today. This is a very big day. Barry Levinson, a brilliant screenwriter and brilliant director, Oscar-winning director of Rain Man, Diner, The Natural, Bugsy, Good Morning Vietnam. He wrote for the Carol Burnett Show. He co-created Homicide, Life on the Street, and Oz. He and his wife at the time wrote And Justice for All, which I watched the other night. Great fucking movie. He's the executive producer of the new documentary, Stars in Strife. And he's got a past at the Comedy Store. And for those of you who listen to me know that's, I got to know about that. How does he fall into the grand history of the Comedy Store? Barry Levinson. We've been meaning to talk for a while, I think. I don't know if he knew that. But I know that we've been meaning to talk for a while. Hey, so I had Allie Brosh on this show a long time ago because I was so taken with her book, Hyperbole and a Half. And she's written a new book. It's been like 7 years. Many of us were concerned about her well-being. But this is sort of coming off me kind of traversing the terrain of my mind and my heart and my spirit. And it doesn't generally go anyplace good. It amplifies the struggle, all right? Look, we're all compromised right now, and if you're alone, you got to be careful up there in your head. I mean, come on. It's a dangerous place, and if you got no one to kind of say like, yo, hey, you can't rely on television for the, whoa, where are you going? What are you up to? All television does, or whatever you're distracting yourself does, is like, all right, let's just think about this now. This is what's happening now. But occasionally you need a little of the, whoa, back up. What? You need that. But anyways, Allie Brosh is one of the great sort of explorers and navigators of the mind and how it relates to the outside world. And she's got a new book out called Solutions and Other Problems. She works within animation, but her writing is tremendous and funny and dark and intuitive and revealing and somehow calming. If you got a dark mind and a damaged soul and a bit of a dark heart, she'll soothe it, man. So, if you want to check that out, this is an unsolicited plug for this fucking book because I love this woman so much and I love her work. Solutions and Other Problems by Allie Brosh. It'll make you feel better, maybe. Maybe. What could make us feel better? Now, this is a theme of my life, kind of pushing back on hucksters and grifters, and which is one of the reasons that obviously this president is outside of being insanely fascistic and dangerous and, kind of homicidally negligent on a mass scale. It's the grift, man. It's the con. It's the hustle, you know. It's this one part of the backbone of America, man. It's a fucked up thing. Like, I finally figured out a way that, you know, troll culture doesn't bother me. It's like these fucking Trump trolls. It's like, if this is what you're proud of, this is what you're, you know, this is who you are. This is, you know, this is your voice in the world. Trump 2020, fuck you, libtard. That's your voice in the world. That's your creativity. That's how you speak. Your heart is just this weird, belligerent script of garbage that you dump out of your fucking brain-fucked head, you know, out into the fucking world. Your sort of shameless, unapologetic loyalty and complete submission and, you know, a surrender of your entire sense of self to a fucking belligerent grifter who offers you nothing but the feeling of hate. It gives it definition. That's who you are. That's your lack of creativity. That's what you do with your American spirit, where you have the freedom to find something for yourself, to carve out your own life, to figure out how you fit in and be part of the fucking cultural fabric. You unimaginative turds. Anyway. Pow! Look out. Shit my pants. JustCoffee.coop. Old school advertising. Here's the thing about home security companies. Most trap you with high prices, tricky contracts, and lousy customer support. So while there are a lot of options out there, there's only one no-brainer. Simply Safe, folks. Simply Safe's got everything you need to protect your home with none of the drawbacks of traditional home security. It's got an arsenal of sensors and cameras to blanket every room, window, and door, and each system is tailored specifically for your home. Professional monitoring keeps watch day and night, ready to send police, fire, or medical professionals if there's an emergency. You can set it up yourself, folks, in under an hour. Just peel and stick the sensors exactly where you need them. No technician required. And there's no contract, no pushy sales guys, no hidden fees, no fine print. And all this starts at $15 a month. Whenever someone we know gets Simply Safe, whether it's someone who works on the show or someone who asks us about it, they always have the same reaction. That was so easy and quick. And we're not the only ones who think Simply Safe is great. U.S. News and World Report named it the best overall home security of 2020. Head to simplysafe.com/WTF right now, and WTF listeners get a free HD camera. That's simplysafe.com/WTF to make sure they know that our show sent you. All right? There you go. So I watched Being There the other night. That was great. It actually holds up. It's a beautiful movie. And some unbelievable. Shirley MacLaine, Peter Sellers, unbelievable. Just throwing that out there. Had a dream. I had a dream the other night. And I guess at some point, I have to start looking at these as visits from my ex who passed away May 16th. Lynn Shelton. Beautiful spirit, beautiful person. But occasionally she visits me in dreams. And I wake up and I'm always upset. But I have to frame it with a certain amount of gratitude that, she's still hanging out. She's still coming by. But the dream I had the other night was powerful in that it was a visit, I think. They are visits when you lose somebody and they come around, depending on what happens. If it's fairly clear, and the dreams I've had about her have been clear, they're usually just like she's here and I'm like, oh my God, I thought you were dead. And she's not. And I wake up and she is. But this one, she was just sitting on the edge of a desk, like facing, I feel like it was a classroom, but I don't know if there was anyone there or it was empty or what. But she was looking out and I approached her and she just was like not paying attention to me. And I said, hey, you remember that you love me, right? And then she turned to me. She's like, yes, of course. And I said, well, you were dead. And I started to cry. And I'm like, you were dead for like days. You were dead. And I'm crying. And she said to me, oh, that must have been very traumatic for you. I'm sorry. And I just was crying. And I said, I love you so much. And I woke up. And that is what she would have said. Happy to see her. Look, you guys, this was a great conversation that I had with Barry Levinson. You know, he looks great. He's like 80. He's holding up. He's lucid. He looks 60. And he's done some big movies, and he's been around a long time. And it was a real pleasure and an honor to talk to him. The documentary that he executively produced, the doc that he executive produced, Stars and Strife, is now available on most video-on-demand platforms, and it just started running this week on Stars. This is me talking to Barry Levinson. Where are you, Barry?
I'm in L.A. now.
Oh, yeah? So you're holed up, trying to breathe?
It's terrible. I've been trying to clear my throat all morning. This is horrific.
Yeah, it's devastating in the way where it's just one layer of garbage over another.
I know.
There doesn't seem to be, there just doesn't seem to be a bottom to it.
No, it's every day there's another thing to get depressed about. Right off the bat, boom. The president of the United States is basically saying, yeah, well, maybe, 2 to 3 million people, should die, but then things are going to be good and the stock market will just be great. It's,
it really is daunting on a day-to-day basis.
No.
In terms of I watched your documentary, the one you produced, the Stars and Strife, and then I just watched The Social Dilemma last night.
Yeah.
Have you watched that?
I haven't seen that one yet. No.
I think for people like my age and your age and these different generations that really, to really sort of wrap your brain around the weaponized social networking platform, the algorithms and how they fuck people's brains, it's like it's not hopeful. There's no hope there, but it does help you understand really what's going on, because I think it's a generational thing. I think to protect yourself from these, to actually protect yourself from the mind fucking, it's a lot trickier than we think, and it has to do with the technologies that we've had to adapt to in our lifetime, and the kids don't give a shit. So it's sort of I don't know whose job it is, because these machines are just running on their own volition.
It's scary on so many levels, because it's hard to. When you read certain statistics and you go, for instance, someone sent me an email the other day that I think it's like high school students, like 40 or 50% never heard of the Holocaust, just as an example. And you go, how's that possible? It's not like you have to understand all of the things, but how is that possible that you don't know that as just a piece of information?
Right.
And so if you say that you don't know that, then you're saying, what don't you know about now? How much about now that it doesn't register in your brain? That's what frightens me.
It's an elaborate shallowness that there's this, that people don't know things in depth, or that, it's sort of like, I could see a younger person saying like, wait, Hitler was the guy with the mustache, right? And that's the depth, right?
Yeah, he was, that's right. He had that was it. Yeah. Yeah.
But and also being like a Jew, it's like, then there's that whole other dimension. It's like, when do we have to leave? Is anyone going to know? Is someone going to alert us all?
Pack up.
And I can't help but think about that shit. I thought about it right away, at the beginning of it, with all that fascist theater of him signing things and Bannon sitting there. I'm like, I know, we're not going to be the first to go, but, we're on the list.
Yeah, I know. That is frightening. It is. It's overwhelming. And at the same time, it's, there used to be, like, you could say, satire. And it's hard to have satire when things are this crazy. It's literally, I think we're getting close to the Marx Brothers with Fredonia. I think that's where we're going, in a sense, where nothing makes any sense at all.
Nothing makes any